Good morning. I'm Mark Beck, broker with Remax Glacier Country.
I'm Meghan Salois. I'm a realtor here at Remax Glacier Country.
And I'm Stephanie Thompson, and I'm a realtor here at Remax Glacier Country. We're coming to you from Sunset Plaza.
And this is Selling Montana. And today we have our esteemed guest, Tony Brockman.
Where is that handsome devil? Hi, hello.
Good to have you here on the show. You're our first guest to the
Wow.
podcast. So pretty exciting. Oh, yeah.
Let's not get too excited.
Can I
come
give
on.
you a standing O? I'm just kidding. Too early?
Sure. How's everyone's day kicking off?
I need more coffee.
Yeah, more coffee would be good.
I know the feeling.
It feels like a Monday.
The struggle
why.
is real.
I'm just counting down the days to my vacation, so that's where I'm at
Oh,
mentally.
you're going on vacation? Where are you going on vacation?
Brazil.
This is the first
Have you
I'm
not
hearing
heard
of it.
this?
Safest place to travel right
The
now.
safest place in the world. Mm-hmm.
We just need Mark to come back alive. That's fine.
good.
Doug tells me every time I go somewhere, he's like, "Don't die. I don't want to run the company."
Does Doug have an insurance policy on you?
He does.
Does he?
He actually does.
I'm a key employee.
He's a smart man.
Yep.
Mark's mentally checked out. Like, I'm surprised he's able to talk right now.
I'm in. I'm focused. I'm ready to go. So let's get rolling with it. Tony, you do a lot here in the community. You're very involved in business and real estate. Tell us a little bit about your involvement, the planning board that you're on.
So for the last 8 years, I've been on the Flathead County Economic Development Authority, FACETA for short. But one of the big projects that we've worked on during that time and before my time is the Kalispell Core and Rail Redevelopment Project. We, along with our partners at the City of Kalispell, removed the rail tracks from downtown. We've all seen that progress over the last year. But I can assure you what took a year to complete actually was 10 plus years in the making. First, we had to relocate some businesses from downtown, some rail-served businesses. We built the Glacier Rail Park, which is just north of Kalispell. And then we're able to remove the rail tracks from downtown. And what that will enable us to do, besides have a 1.6 mile linear park through our community, is here in the next 3 to 5 years, an estimated $250 to $300 million in private investment will come into our community and benefit the realtors in the room and throughout the valley.
And the people of Kalispell.
Yes,
And the people of Kalispell.
Not just the realtors.
Yep.
We're not the bad guys.
We're not the bad guys. People are already
just
coming here.
focusing on who my audience is.
Those are some big numbers, though.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And with development, I know right now, what people are most concerned about, or what the biggest issue is lack of inventory, and that's what causes supply demand being the law there causes the prices to be so high. Better development, better planned development will provide.
It's a work in progress.
That got me off my track. Provides higher density housing. Higher density housing is going to be more affordable,
Yes, so there are no more height restrictions in downtown Kalispell. So we're going to begin seeing, 4, 5-story structures in downtown Kalispell, which helps that density argument there.
Is that good for Kalispell? 4 or 5-story buildings, apartment complexes. I mean, I feel like we need apartment complexes. The need for that structure is here now.
I don't know if I'd say it's good for Kalispell or it's bad for Kalispell. I think it's going to be a part of our reality going forward. Now, all of this development is up to private investors and private developers, and they'll do what the market requires or is in need of. But what you'll see is a lot of mixed-use development where there will be some sort of commercial or retail component on the ground floor, and then housing units, apartments, condos, you name it, above.
And see, I think that's where I see it being great for Kalispell, when you've got, especially the mixed use, when you've got the coffee shop or you've got a brewery downstairs in your apartment complex, you're especially, with alcohol, right? Like when you have walking distance to restaurants, breweries, there's the walkways set up, you're going to reduce drinking and driving. You're going to, people are going to make that option because it's easier and convenient for them, right?
Well, yeah, and that goes to, young people. It goes to making things more accessible for people with disabilities and senior citizens. If you can live, work, and play all within a short distance of each other, it's going to make things more affordable. It's going to make general life easier. Pardon me. When you can walk a block to Super One, and in some cases, if your condo is closer to Super One than maybe you would be able to park, that's just going to make life much easier.
I feel like it's going to bring a lot more money back to Main Street too, to those local businesses. And
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's what drives local economies is a thriving Main Street. It's one of a large piece of puzzle.
Very cool.
So, yeah, absolutely.
I'm curious, do you get the argument a lot? I know a lot of people are complaining at the same time about no inventory, no housing, but then they're also complaining about all this development and that Kalispell is getting too big and we're going to, building up. They don't like the idea of 4 or 5 story buildings. Do you get a lot of flack for that? Like, or what's your argument when people, kind of want to keep the small town, but they also want more housing? Like, I was just kind of curious what you say to people like that, because I just see a lot of complaining going on. So I just am curious how you deal with that. So
the Flathead 411 page is,
yes.
I don't even look at it.
There.
Don't ever look at it, especially if you're a realtor. You're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Megan, what I say to that is that decisions are made by those who show up. And we have an opportunity we as a community have an opportunity to think about what we want to be when we grow up and what our community wants to look like 5, 10, 15, 50 years from now. And if we don't start, us locals, us people who've been here, 20, 30 years, all of our lives, if we don't start having a voice in that development, we're not going to recognize our own neighborhoods. And so, Flathead 411 seems to be a popular outlet for people's frustrations.
It really does.
But the decision makers in our community, I guarantee you, are not listening to Flathead 411.
No, it's not just that. It's, everyday conversations too. But I was just curious. But that's a good argument. And I was curious too, these people that are these private investors you're talking about, I would imagine a lot of them have been here for a long time and have put a lot of time and money into our community. And they're not just these out-of-state people coming and trying to change our community, but it's people who have lived here and been here for a long time.
It's all of the above.
Goldberg and Ruiz and okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Earlier, we were talking too about pricing of apartments that are going to be coming in and what the new norm is going to be for that area of town and all throughout Kalispell, the new development. And
well, yeah, I don't set those prices,
No.
but
neither do we.
The market will dictate what those prices are. It's a tough conversation, and yeah, I'm gonna kick that can down the road.
But it brings a good point, because I know people tend to believe that realtors set the price of housing,
Yes.
or
But
even that
you do, right?
we do not. We do not.
Flathead 411 says we do.
Flathead 411 believes that realtors set the housing prices. People also believe, sellers tend to believe that they set the housing prices too. They do not. Buyers set the prices in a market based, in a market like this. So it doesn't matter what I price it for. If someone wants to pay $100,000 more because they have to have it and they're willing to beat anyone to get it, there's nothing I can do about it. Even if I way underpriced it, way overpriced it, doesn't matter what number I put on it. If the buyer wants it and they're going to get it and they've got the cash to do it, they're going to get it, right? And so it's the supply demand, and it depends on how bad do you want to get out of Chicago is what I've noticed, especially in 2020.
Yeah.
So
true.
have you guys seen a lot of those high, ridiculous offers from either the seller perspective or the buyer perspective?
Totally. I've made them. I've sold homes for represented a buyer for over $100,000 over the list price. Wow. And got it. And did not matter to the buyer.
I've written offers for 70 over for my client and got third place.
Yep.
Third place.
Third place. I mean, obviously a lot we get first place too, but
yeah,
that just shows you like it's not always.
Yeah, it's not the realtor.
Too.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with us. It's the buyer, and it could be exactly the opposite. You could have it priced at this point, and everyone's writing offers 100,000 under. Again, not the realtor, not the seller. It's the buyer in every scenario.
Yeah. Very
So
true.
what I'm hearing is that the flathead has been discovered.
Yes.
Is that what
Absolutely.
Okay.
And you can't hide it.
And you can't hide it.
You can't
People
put a
are
blanket
coming.
over it.
It looks like we're bringing them here. They were already coming here, and we're just
They're calling us.
Yeah,
We're
they're
not calling them.
us.
Is this where we begin to talk about the traffic and how crazy it's been?
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll kick that can down the road.
I know. Just pass that hot potato.
That's the hot potato. It takes me 40 minutes to get to Columbia Falls. I'm so over it.
Something that you and I have talked to on the side before, that I wanted to go back to, the higher density housing, apartment complexes, the such. Interesting thing about those are not on septics, right? Those are on city sewer systems.
Yes.
Tell us about septics and the issues with too many septics in the Flathead.
This is an area I know just enough to be dangerous and look foolish when I'm talking about it. But I know that with too many septics, you have the potential for the creation or groundwater issues. Now, I don't know where our community is in having septics versus having too many septics. Flathead County Planning and Zoning could tell you that one. But, I know with the development downtown and in the city of Kalispell, all of that will be in our city sewer system, and we'll have to grow and expand that, or the people of Kalispell will have to grow and expand that when the need comes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I don't know where we're at, like a breaking point or whatever on having too many septics in the area or certain areas of the county. But I know it seems like it's getting more difficult. There's going to be more regulations on them coming forward is what I've noticed on the pipeline. It's definitely
They're
not like what it was 10 years ago or even 5 years ago. Because it's a noteworthy issue, and as the community expands, it's just not feasible to have everyone on 5 acres with a septic, 3-bedroom, single bath house, or single family home. It's going to cause human waste problems, right? Like there's going to be a pollution issue.
Well, not just that, but we, in a broader sense, have to strengthen our infrastructure, whether it be wastewater treatment, whether it be roads, whether it be, broadband is another huge topic.
Yeah.
We've got to begin focusing on strengthening our infrastructure. Look at Reserve. Every single one of us drives down Reserve at least once a week, and that's just an incredible mess. And I know that the city is looking at doing a RAISE grant. That's it stands for RAISE, to widen Reserve from its current 3-lane configuration to 5 lanes. The first chunk of that large piece of cake is from 93 to Whitefish Stage. And they're currently estimating that little chunk, which I think's 1.5 miles, maybe 2. No, it's definitely 1.5. is $33 million. Now, I don't have that in my pocket today. Mark probably does, though.
I do not.
But, I mean, these are the things that we have to begin thinking about. They're not easy, and widening reserve is not a sexy topic. But if we don't do something now, if we don't start working towards a solution, it's only going to get worse, folks. And so these are the things that we have to be thoughtful about. And not easy, but definitely important.
Completely.
Like you said, if you want a voice, get involved.
Funny how that works, huh?
I know.
Decisions are made by those that show up.
411 is not the place.
That's not getting involved.
No, that's not getting involved.
It's not. It's not real.
Hey, who doesn't appreciate some good rage comments? But
Keyboard jockeying is too easy.
It doesn't move the needle for our community.
Yeah. Yep. That's very well put. I like that.
Yeah.
Tony, tell us a little bit about your campaign and property taxes, if you would.
I love how you snuck that one in
slip
there.
that one in. Well, yes. So I am running for House District 9 for the state legislature. House District 9 is, we're actually in House District 9 currently. It goes from Meridian to 93, includes Buffalo Hills Golf Course, Logan Health, Emmanuel Lutheran, and goes over to a couple of neighborhoods on Whitefish Stage, and then proceeds into Evergreen all the way to the river. And it almost goes down Willow Glen towards, not almost, or kind of towards the, in the direction of the Toyota dealership. So it's a big district geographically. Looks like an awkward shaped L. Yes, and I'm running on super sexy topics, community safety, jobs, and strengthening infrastructure. So those are the issues that I've been focused on. But in terms of property taxes, Montanans are definitely going to have to. We've got to start looking at a solution, and it's not one silver bullet, but I want to be a part of those conversations. They're not going to be easy conversations, and are probably going to take a few sessions, legislative sessions, to get solved for the people of Montana. But I know we're, all Montanans feel as though they're taxed out, and they're pretty accurate.
Yeah. My opinion, I think Montana is entirely too reliant on property tax. My opinion, but I think that there's better ways to get revenue. I don't frown on the resort taxes. Those are the people that are causing our need for infrastructure. Tax the tourist. I mean, that should be like a slogan, right? Yeah. Tax the tourist. I mean, that's how you're going to raise more revenue. I think is implementing taxes specific to those people that are not necessarily sure they're building our economy, but they're not living and working here. They're just playing here.
Yep. That's good.
That's one approach.
It is. It's not a silver bullet.
The can down the road.
Not touching that one, friend. That's how you kill political careers.
I'm not running for anything, so
yeah, you can say whatever you want.
I mean, I am a realtor. I can't say whatever I want, but no. I mean, affordability of housing. I mean, if property taxes continue to go up, right, your mortgage cost goes up, and so it makes it harder to afford a home. So it is in the best interest of most people to keep property taxes lower and find a different avenue to raise the funds, because we need more money for development that's coming and infrastructure that needs to be improved, and it's got to come from somewhere. And if you're just solely relying on property tax, you're going to get taxed out on the owners.
Well, and I think it provides an opportunity for us to also look at alternatives, alternative roadways. One of the biggest things, at least in the center part of the county, where Kalispell is, we have very few east-west connections. So maybe, we can definitely start looking at alternative transportation routes, and alternatives to broadband, to wastewater treatment, you name it, because like I said, $33 million is a lot of money to people, and it's a big chunk. We may not be able to do that all at once. So maybe if we look at an alternative, it'll be cheaper and provide an equally good result. So, like I said, these are not easy conversations.
Not at
but
all.
they are important.
Glad it's your job and not mine.
Yeah. There's a little bit too much passion behind some of
I'll see
some
you
of
on
the
the
comments.
411 page, Tony.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, friend.
Why don't we post this on there and see what happens?
I'm sure it'll get shared there somehow.
I'm sure it's already.
Oh boy. Yeah. Any questions for us, Tony? Anything that you want to discuss?
Yeah. Well, so how much is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house in
Okay.
downtown Kalispell going to cost me, guys?
I'm going to kick that can down the road. No,
Yeah.
Pass that hot potato.
Yeah, this is going to be. It could be dated. I don't know. 2 weeks from now it might be different. So.
Right.
Okay.
Totally.
Okay.
Median home price is right around 500,000 though, I'd say
Yeah.
right
All
now.
right. So that buys me a 3-bed, 2-bath home that's probably 20, 30, 40, 100 years old.
Possibly.
Okay.
Yep.
That sounds about right.
Good to know, guys.
Yep.
Real optimistic.
We're all in
The
the
new
same boat.
normal.
Yeah.
Yep.
Definitely. Well, if that's it, thank you very much for joining us.
Well,
Thanks.
thanks. I appreciate being your first guest. It can only go up from here, folks. So. No, thank you for having me on, and thanks for listening to unsexy but important topics. So, yeah.
Yeah, education doesn't have to be sexy. I think I learned a lot. I'm taking away a lot from this. So
I did too.
yeah,
Same.
Yep.
absolutely. Well, thank you very much, and appreciate you watching.
Please
you.
hit the subscribe button.
Subscribe.